Hello, everybody. This is a listening guide that I have found that's going to be supplemental or supportive of the Ave Maria in our textbook and also a podcast that I put up. Here is a third presentation on the same musical composition, and this one is pretty wonderful, and this is why I wanted to put it up for you. Incidentally, last week on the voice board for office hours, I asked you that if you had questions, of course, you could ask them. If you had comments, of course, you could make them. But if you didn't have anything else to say, I asked you to check into office hours and get credit for checking into office hours by commenting on the Hildegard podcast. This week, I'm going to ask you to either comment on the Josquin podcast or on this listening guide on the Josquin Ave Maria. Ave Maria. And that'll be for you to check into office hours and get credit. Some of you have been checking in every week, and some of you have never checked in. As you know, you were graded in for this as part of your participation grade. So I asked you to check in on the voice board on the homepage every week. And if you have no questions, then I will tell you what I wish for you to talk about. And this week is about the Ave Maria, either the podcast or this listening guide that we're doing right now. Okay, here we go. Josquin composed Ave Maria sometime around 1485. This is a motet, and this is what a motet is. A motet is a composition for a choir or a large chorus. It's a religious, devotional, or solemn text, frequently a prayer. It is often sung a cappella, and it is sung during the Mass, but it's not part of the Mass. This was written in honor of the Virgin Mary. It employs the standard voice parts, which are soprano, alto, tenor, and bass, and it is meant to be performed a cappella. Now, a cappella is a musical term that simply means that it's not accompanied, it doesn't have any instruments. It's unaccompanied vocal music. It originated because in the Sistine Chapel, the Pope's own chapel at the Vatican, instruments were forbidden in that chapel, so anytime you sing without instruments, it was said to be, during that time, like at the chapel, which is a cappella. Close that one out. The text of Ave Maria is in Latin. It does have a structure, which constitutes later on in music form, and this time it's governed by the words. Its structure consists of a two-line salutation to the Virgin, followed by a series of 5 verses, and each of the 5 verses refers to one of the principal feast days during the Catholic Church year. I'm not going to go through the feast days now because we're concentrating on music. The final couplet, and this is a couplet, as you know, is a 2-line rhyming, 2 lines which rhyme. So here at the end we have itas, humilitas, itas fecunditas, and annunciatio, and salvatio. So at the ending of the words, every 2 lines have to rhyme, and that's called a couplet. Going on. This is what I love about this particular listening guide. Is right here you have a picture of, guess what? Imitative polyphony, because as you can see, these are all the same contour, and that it represents a musical line. And notice they're all the very same thing, but they do not sing at the same time. Over here on the right, these people are all singing at the same time, the same words at the same time. Here it's split up between imitation, between these 2 voices are singing kind of like a duet. They're not singing exactly the same thing. And these 2 voices are going to sing the very same thing those 2 voices sang, but at a later time. This is called imitative polyphony. This one over here, where they all sing at the same time, is called homophony. Homo means one or at the same time. Okay, here we go first with the 4-part imitation. We'll hear first the sopranos come in, and then the altos, and then the tenors, and then the bass, and they all sing the same thing throughout the song, that there's imitation, It's always the very same part being sung at a different time by different voices. Here is the imitation of 4 voices. I'm going to stop the CD. Now notice that they all sang the very same music for Ave Maria. And then when they went on to the next line, Grazia, that also was imitated in the same fashion every time. Here is the 2 voices imitating 2 other voices. We don't have time to analyze this here, but when you listen to it, you have this music as part of the chapter. When you listen to these parts, you can listen again and again, and you'll find out that these 2 people, these 2 voices are not singing the same thing. They're singing just like, it's like a duet. And then these 2 people, when they come in, they sing the same duet, but it is imitated. Now we're going to go to homophony. Now, right here in homophony, you can expect that the singers will all pronounce the words at the same time, and they are not imitative. It's said that the top voice, normally the soprano voice, will have the melody, while all the other voices have notes which support the melody, which later on is called harmony, and what we call it harmony today. But during this time of music history, supposedly harmony had not really been invented, but as a matter of fact, anytime you have more than 1 note sounding at the same time, that is harmony. But at this point in history, they didn't call it harmony, although these are what we would call 4-part chords. Here are the chords. And I also want to point out that this is the part where they suddenly switch from duple meter to triple meter. So I'm going to play this twice so you can hear it and see if you can feel the 3 beats. And I'm going to play it again and actually count with them. Okay, now that was very definitely in triple meter. Everything before was in duple. I'm going to actually count 1, 2, 3 this time as they sing to emphasize it for you. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's listen to duple. This part over here is in duple, or 4/4 time. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In order to determine what kind of meter you have, whether it's duple or triple, you always have to tap your foot or dance. You have to move your body so you can determine where the beats are. This has gotten so long that I don't have time to play the rest of this listening guide, which is fabulous. It's an analysis, a complete, total musical analysis of this piece. So I'm going to end this video right now so that I can start the next time with the next part, which is the piece with all kinds of analytical commentaries. Thank you very much. I'll be back.